discussion of the previous class now. So what did we discuss in the previous class? Can some of you quickly tell? Yeah, request Manmeet.
Jain sir, sorry sir, unfortunately I missed out last class sir.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Any other student to tell?
Yes, sir. Properties of Z transform and its effect on ROC.
Right. So finding inverse Z transform in a few typical cases, and then the effect of properties like some properties of the signals in time domain, how they reflect in the ROC and Z transforms, right? So as a follow-up, we will see one or two small things and then move on to the discussion on the sampling. So you are able to see the screen, I hope, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So in the previous class, there was a discussion about the Z transform of n into x of n, right? Finally, we have derived it as minus z into d by dz of x of z, and we finally found x of z equal to this, correct? So what is the ROC? At that time, we have just quickly concluded that the ROC is like this. Is there any correction needed in this? Any correction needed here? Hari, will you tell?
0 not included.
Yeah, in this 0 is not included, but which is included?
Infinity, sir.
Is infinity included here or not?
Yes, sir. It includes.
Included or not?
Included, sir.
Yeah, it includes infinity. Because see, if you substitute here, if you want to calculate for at infinity, you have to substitute, okay, z inverse equal to 0. Okay, z tends to infinity or z inverse tends to 0. Then it becomes, whole thing becomes 0. So it converges at infinity. Where it doesn't converge is at z equal to 0. But anyway, mod z greater than a is the ROC, so we don't bother about it. Okay, so is this clear or not? Okay. So that too, actually, this sequence, see this sequence, what kind of sequence? X of n. Say n into x of n. So if I give n into x of n, where the sequence is like this. What kind of sequence is this? What kind of sequence is this?
Like a ramp function, sir.
What kind of sequence? N into a power n u of n. Yeah, Madan, will you tell? Causal sequence or non-causal sequence?
Causal, sir.
Yeah, it's causal sequence. So if it is causal sequence, what will happen? Its convergence at z equal to infinity.
It should converge.
Yeah, right. So that's why actually you will at z equal to infinity also it will converge. Okay, so that is being followed or in agreement with the initial value theorem. Okay, as if the sequence is causal, then it converges at z equal to infinity, and the value of x of z equal to infinity is equal to x of 0. Here also you can see that x of 0 is equal to 0, and that also you can see that actually. So here if you just apply this, okay, for this, so if you want to apply this initial value theorem here, okay, you can see that, okay, if you want to apply initial value theorem here, okay, so x of z, x1 of z as limit z tends to infinity is how much here? Is equal to 0. Okay, which is equal to what? You can also find this by x1 of z limit z tends to infinity is equal to x1 of 0. Okay, which is equal to, by substitution from here also you can see that it is equal to 0. Clear or not what I am discussing? Okay, this is through initial value theorem. Okay, is this clear? You're not able to hear any
Yeah.
voice.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Right. So now let us move on to the discussion on sampling. No. Any doubts you people have in the previous topic? Jet transforms? Okay. Okay. So fine. So I assume that now let us assume that we have some x of t with us. Okay, some time domain signal. The time domain signal may be something like this. Okay. Something like this. Okay, it can be anything, but to assume that we have some time domain signal. Okay, and this time domain signal, what we want to do with this time domain signal is we want to obtain like convert this into discrete signal. Okay, so what should we do is the question. So if we have some x of t with us, and if we want to convert this into a discrete signal, okay, what should be done? We want to finally get x of n. Okay, that's final our aim. Okay, what should we do? And what are its implications in the frequency domain? Because so far what we are seeing is, we are seeing the analysis of the signal both in time domain as well as in frequency domain. So if we do something in the time domain, what is its effect in frequency domain is also of considerable importance for us. Okay, because sometimes analysis in frequency domain may be simpler. Okay, and design itself in frequency domain may be simpler. Okay, sometimes anyway, finally you need to get back the signal in time domain or spatial domain. Okay, so that's why both are of importance. You should be able to know the implication of one operation on another. Okay, so now tell me, what should be my first step?
Multiply with impulse time.
Okay, multiply with impulse time. So his suggestion is, okay, you multiply this with some impulse time. Say assume that there is an impulse train like this. What kind of impulse train is it? Just I am putting some impulse train here. Okay, so how, if I want to do any operation, I have to write mathematically what it is, what this operation is. Okay, then I should perform the operation and see its implication. Okay, so let this be, previously it is time, and this is x of t anyway, as we discussed. So let 0 be anywhere else. Okay, so it doesn't matter about. So now what is this impulse train? How do I denote mathematically this impulse train? Let there be 0 somewhere. Okay, yeah. This is also continuous time or discrete time? This is also continuous. Yeah, both you can perform the operations when both are continuous in the same domain. Okay, right. So how should I write this signal? Mathematically, I just want to write this signal, say whatever it may be. So s of t, if I want to write summation of, okay,
del of t
T is
minus kt.
minus
e minus
Kt. K from minus infinity.
kt. Okay, okay, t he is, okay, let it be kt. Okay, where k equal to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and where is capital T here? What is capital T here? Capital T is,
Distance between two impulses.
yeah. So this duration is capital T. Yeah. So duration of sample or impulses, okay, is capital T. What is the role of this impulse train or impulse sequence? Impulse train. What is role of this impulse train? Why you want to multiply this and this?
Taking samples, discrete instance.
Yeah, you want to, what we want to do is, see, we want to get this x of t continuous time signal. Okay, in convert this into a discrete signal, or we want to identify or find, select some samples at regular intervals from this continuous time signal. Okay, that's what is the requirement we have. Okay, to collect those samples at regular intervals, what we are doing is, we are doing multiplication with respect to this. Okay, we are doing multiplication with respect to this impulse train. See, if we do multiplication, let us assume that we might have done multiplication. So I will just write here. Okay, something like this. So what we get as output? Like, how do I write? What do I get as the output? So these are all the outputs. Okay, so if I just sketch the output now. Okay, so what do I get? Can one of you tell, how should I sketch the output? Output will be, see, at this location this much, at this location slightly this much.
If different
Okay,
weighted
at this
samples.
location maybe here. Yeah, it may be here, and it may be here. It may be here, maybe here, and so on. Okay, so we leave it at this point. Okay, but it's like this. Okay, so fine. So what you get is, at these locations. So this is now the multiplication of these two. So how do I now mathematically write it? I will sketch it further, but how do I mathematically write this first? X sample version of t, okay, sample signal, okay, is, sample signal means through impulse train, we are collecting the information of x of t at regular intervals. Okay, fine. How should I write x of t? Sample signal. How should I write? Can one of you tell? X of t into,
Summation.
yeah, tell, delta of t minus nt.
Just multiply
Okay,
these two.
t is equal, sorry, k is equal to minus infinity. Okay, and then this is k. Right. So now, can one of you tell how to simplify this a little bit? I just want to simplify this. Yeah, Niharika, will you tell?
Sir, we'll put k
Or
values
Anjana, you can
and
tell. Yeah, am I audible? Right. And then what should I write?
X of kt
x of t
into del of
into
X of t into, okay, del of
del of t
t
minus
minus
k.
kt. But is there a better, simplified version of this? Hmm?
X of kt.
X of kt.
Yeah, x of kt. So just for probably okay, x of kt will write. Okay, later we'll change it to n. X of kt into del of t minus kt. Why both are same? Either this and this are same. Why both are same? Tell verbally. Why do you think these two are same?
Impulse train only exists at kt points.
Right. Impulse train is only non-zero at these locations. So the summation anyway will be zero in other regions, or only these are the overlapping instances of x of t. Okay, so this you can write. So what essentially is now, see, previously you had an impulse train. Now what do you have after doing this operation? What is the difference between previous impulse train and this after doing this operation?
Sir, we copied the.
Can one of you tell? Pradeep, will you tell?
Signal.
Magnitude of our sample is
Praveen.
weighted.
Yeah. So now you still have an impulse train, but weighted impulse train. Okay, weighted by samples of x of t. Okay, so now you can have actually weighted by samples of x of t. Okay, fine. So now, and so on. Anyway, you can. So fine. So now this is what you have as excess of t. Sample signal. Okay, so these are all the things, operations that are done in time domain. Okay, now we will try to see what is its implication in the frequency domain. Okay, and then come back. Okay, so assume that we have see, to analyze these operations in frequency domain. Okay, what should I have? What information should I have? What, say I just want to find Fourier transform or discrete time Fourier transform, oh sorry, continuous time Fourier transform itself of excess of t. These are all continuous time signals. Please note that these are all continuous time signals. Okay, I want to find continuous time Fourier transform. Okay, and want to understand the implication of this sampling here. Okay, that is my objective. For doing that, I need to find continuous time Fourier transform. For finding it, what is the thing that you should perform as a important step? Can one of you tell? Hari?
By finding Fourier transform of it, sir.
By finding Fourier transform of what? See, here we have
Signals, sir.
x of t, okay, is equal to x of t into s of t, this sample or impulse time. Okay, and then what did we do? This, after simplification, it became like x of kt. So nt I will write here because dummy variable can be anything, right? So I will write x of nt del of t minus nt. Okay, n equal to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, this is what I had. But now I want to write these things, all these operations, okay, in frequency domain. What will happen to excess of j omega? Okay, that's what is my interest. So doing that, what do you think I need?
Sir, multiplication convolution is there
Yeah,
in
right.
frequency
So,
domain. Take usually Fourier
excess
transforms.
omega. Okay, this is capital omega or small omega? Why I am writing capital omega? Why I am writing capital omega here? Is this correct, whatever I have written here? Okay, 1 by 2 pi into convolution of this and this. Capital omega, because why I am writing capital omega? Please tell quickly. See, people
To
know and
show the
don't tell.
difference. Yes, sir. To show the difference between the continuous frequency and discrete frequency.
So this is actually continuous time Fourier transform. Okay, not discrete time Fourier transform. Okay. Fine. So now, see x of j omega you can easily find from the signal. Assume that if the signal is given, say assume that x of j omega is given something like this. Okay, though it is not given for us, assume that it is given something like this. Okay, to make our operation simple. Okay, assume that x of j omega is like this. So minus some omega n to omega n or whatever. Okay, it is given. Okay, now what is Sj of S of j omega? Can one of you tell? So what should we do for getting S of j omega? We have to apply Fourier transform, discrete time, continuous time Fourier transform on, okay, S of t. That is n equal to minus infinity to infinity, del of t minus nt. Right? For this Fourier transform, we have to apply. Tell me, how do we apply Fourier transform for any of this kind of signals? So now the signal is like this. No answers. You should tell much even before than. Okay, so this is S of t. T minus nt. Yeah. How do I get Fourier transform for this? Some idea required.
We find exponential Fourier series coefficient then.
Okay. So what you were
Then
suggesting, you have to go for, right. You have to first find the exponential Fourier series quotients. Okay. And then you apply Fourier transform for it. Correct? So what, see, this is what kind of signal? Why you are suggesting that kind of method?
It's a periodic signal, so
Apply. Why you are suggesting that kind of method?
it's a periodic signal, so
Is a periodic signal. Okay, first of all, this is a periodic signal. For any periodic signals, okay, what for periodic signals? Okay, what we do is we don't apply Fourier transform. First, what should we do is Fourier series quotients we should find. Okay. First find, okay, Fourier series quotients. Okay, so you have to express this S of t in terms of sigma ck e power minus j k omega naught t. Correct? K equal to minus infinity infinity. First express this periodic signal. Okay, S of t being periodic signal. First point important to note is S of t is not a like finite signal or a finite duration signal, is periodic. Okay. So since this is periodic signal, what we do is for periodic signals we apply first decompose into Fourier series quotients. Okay, fine, because we would like to use the complex exponentials from whole duration and express this in terms of the complex exponentials. Okay, with different strengths of frequencies. Now tell me, what is the what is CK? This implies first find CK, right? How do I find CK? For any periodic signal, you should know that, you should note that if you want to do something with periodic signal, okay, you should take help of Fourier series expansion. Okay, right. So either decompose through Fourier series into exponentials, and in some cases you may need to apply, say if I ask you to find response of a system, you may need to apply eigenfunction property. Okay, if I ask you to find Fourier transform, you should first decompose into Fourier series expansions and write the Fourier transform for the exponentials, and then write the Fourier transform of the periodic signal. Okay, hope the discussion is clear. Okay, otherwise please talk to me. Convey me. So if any periodic signal, first you should decompose into exponentials. Okay, then you should find its Fourier transform. Okay, fine. So now CK is what? What is the expression for CK? Can one of you tell? Any other student?
1 by capital T.
1 by T. Okay. Integral is there or not? Yeah, tell actually why you.
The
Yes, sir.
1 by T itself is the Fourier series coefficient for this periodic impulse train.
What is that?
No, he's saying that after simplification, he's saying that 1 by 2.
Right. Okay. So you can express, say plus can be here or minus can be here. It's okay. So if you want to explicitly write, okay, it's okay. So now this is the expression for finding CK. So can one of you quickly use and find C0 first? Can one of you quickly find?
One by
What
T,
is
sir.
C0?
1 by T, sir.
What's happening? Yeah, 1 by T. Integral minus by 2. Okay, here S of T is 1. Okay, and then this duration is minus T by 2 to T by T. In this C, these are all sampled at duration of T. Okay, so minus T by 2 to T by T is up to from here to here.
Sir,
Yeah,
actually, sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, actually, in CK formula, there is minus is there. E power minus jk omega naught t.
What is that?
Fourier series coefficient formula,
Not
1 by
able to
t minus t by t2. In that formula, actually, there is minus is there, sir. E power minus jk omega naught t.
Okay, fine. I think it's okay. So plus is here and minus is there, is it?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if our definition is like that, I think we can go by that only. So I think if say I think DTFT introduction, yeah, right. Okay. So we have defined like that, right? CK is minus is here and plus is here. Okay. X of T equal to plus CK into. Okay. So we will go like that only. Right. So this is plus and this is minus. Okay, fine. Oh, fine. So now this is minus T by 2 to T by 2. Only one time delta T is there. Okay, and this is anyway 0, e power 0 into dt. This is equal to, what is the answer? So this is not 1 here, but this is equal to delta T. Okay. Delta T into e power 0. See, if you see in this duration, only signal you have is delta T. Okay. So delta t into e power j omega naught t. By definition, delta t integral in this region is 1, and hence it is 1 by t. Is this clear or not? Okay. Then similarly, for any k, what will happen? Request any other student to tell.
Sir, 1 by t only will come.
Yeah, 1 by t only will come, because in any duration you will have only, say for example, one delta function is in one duration. Okay, so that way you will get only ck is equal to 1 by t for all k. Okay, is this clear? So now finally, using this fact, what can I write? We can write s of t. Okay, through Fourier series expansion. Okay, s of t equal to sigma 1 by t into e power minus j, minus we have kept here, right? Plus j, okay. Plus j k omega naught, right? Is this fine? Which is equal to anyway 1 by t sigma k e power j k omega naught t. Right. So now what do we do with this? What is our aim? This is just other way of representation of s of t. Please note that I have applied no transform here. Okay. I just used the transform quotients to represent the s of t. Okay, in terms of complex exponentials. Okay, so now what is my aim? What do I want? Huh? What do you want?
Representing frequency.
Yeah. See, first of all, is my voice audible to you people all comfortably? Hello?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
It is
Sir.
audible. Very clear.
Right.
No problem.
Then see, what I suggest is each time one of you quickly answer. Okay. In case if sometime 2-3 are just ready to answer, probably at that time one of you can who has started first can continue. Other people can just stop for a while. Don't keep on delay in answering the simple things. Otherwise, we will not be able to like comfortably discuss the things here. Okay, if you are not clear, tell that also. So just after a pass, okay, tell one of you that it's not clear to us, or it like we don't know. So that I know that like it has to be conveyed. Okay, fine. So now what should we do? Fine. What is our aim now? What do we want to find? What do you want to find?
Fourier transform.
We want to find for this like continuous time Fourier transform. Okay, S j omega. See, if I monotonically, like from my side, if I keep teaching, okay, it looks like a conventional instance one-sided class. Okay, I don't know what's happening at your end. Okay, you can as well listen to a video lecture. Okay, so now what is the so how do you find it now? So we apply this continuous time Fourier transform. Okay, on this 1 by t summation t e power j k omega naught t. See, to apply here, what you need to know is continuous time Fourier transform of e power j k omega naught t. What is it? Can one of you tell?
Del of omega minus k omega naught.
Yeah. So this is nothing but del of omega minus k omega naught. Right. See, why is this? So you know that the continuous time Fourier transform or inverse continuous time Fourier transform of del of omega, okay, if rj omega is equal to what? Is equal to 1. Okay, in time domain. Is it not? So the inverse Fourier transform of this is 1. You can find it out through the expression, right? So you know x of t is equal to minus infinity to infinity, okay, x of j omega e power j omega t dt. Okay, through this you can see that actually if you just substitute this equal to del, then it will be equal to 1. Okay, so now the using shifting property, you can see that actually continuous time Fourier transform of k omega naught t, is it plus or minus? So what we are trying to do here is, yeah, this is plus only. So if you just if you find inverse continuous time Fourier transform of del of omega minus k omega naught t omega naught, okay, is equal to what? If you just apply this principle, you will see that it is equal to e power j. Is this correct? J k omega naught t. Okay, so you can put it here, and then yeah, plus and minus will come, and then this is what, right? So using these we can write this. Hope it is clear, right? Nikhil, is this understood? Nikhil and Razu, is this clear whatever I have discussed here? Is this clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You are
sir.
there in the
Clear,
class or
sir.
not? So you people are sleeping in the class or taking multiple tasks in the during the class or what?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. So I don't know this much lag in the response. I don't want to attribute that much to internet. So now internet things are better than us. Okay. So what is now completely, how do I rate S of j omega? Who has not answered, quickly tell. What is the final answer for S of j omega? Survardhan, you can quickly ask. You might have the names there. Or Vaishnavi, you can also ask.
So then people will feel something bad. Will call especially if you call their names or especially point to point, so they will feel something
Right.
bad. I hope, sir. So that's why we are keeping silent, sir. So otherwise.
No. By
Okay, sir. Sure. I will make such. I will make. Okay.
Yeah, right. No, you can. Right. Who are the other names which usually I don't call? You tell one or two names to me now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Bhargav is there, sir.
Bhargav, yeah, tell
Yeah.
Bhargav.
Bhargav and Harshavardhan.
Harshavardhan, right, good.
Yeah, Harshavardhan
So,
sometimes he will tell.
right,
Bhargav he has to tell.
right. Yeah, you are there, Bhargav? I don't know. You people are just keeping it on or going somewhere or what?
Yeah, he is there, sir. I turn on his microphone.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bhargav,
yes, but
tell.
Sir, just problem with my microphone.
Yeah.
yeah.
This.
Right. So is this correct? Anything is missing?
2 pi coefficient.
Yeah.
Under signal, sir, convolution. Yes. Hexagonal
Right.
convolution should be there, sir.
What is that? Right.
No, sir.
So generally this exponential, each of them will have a shifted delta functions as their continuous time Fourier transforms. Okay, and then this will be this. Okay, so now simply this is the again delta train in frequency domain. As you can see, omega naught is how much? What is value of omega naught? What is value of omega naught?
2 pi by t.
2 pi by t.
Right, 2 pi by capital T. You can't get back the environment of the class. Okay, at least the environment that we have now in Zoom, if you are able to fruitfully utilize, okay, you will have very good classes. Otherwise, it is silently, I can keep writing here. Okay, you will see the answers and everything here. It's like a solution manual. I don't think it will be of much use to you. So you should respond on time, be ready, alert. Okay, and you should be ready to see, you should even compete to answer. And that I still do not see. Only few people are keep on trying to answer or answering. Other students consider that the class is for others. So it should not happen like that. Class is for all of you, and you should be quite alert and ready to answer. Keep every of your settings ready and answer. Okay, fine. So now, why did we do all this stuff? Yeah, Bhargav, you can tell. Why did we do all this stuff?
Just to express this sampled signal as a shifted frequency spectrum of the original signal, sir.
Right. Why do you want to just to express this in frequency domain like that?
So we have to analyze such that our sampling does not affect Nyquist criterion. We decide the
all not discussed, right? So why unnecessarily we expressed all this in frequency domain? Why did we find omega at all?
So such that frequency content is not overlapped, sir.
Okay, that's all later implications.
Yes,
Currently, what is our aim?
To see the frequency domain of sampled signal, sir.
We want to see if there is a sampling that is done in time domain, what is its implication in the frequency domain? Okay, that's just what that we want to see. Okay, so what its implication, other things we will discuss later. Okay, so here what is this? This is actually the, if we do sampling in time domain. Okay, sampling means in time domain. Okay, if we, this is what we do. Okay, so we want to study its implication. Okay, implication of sampling in time domain. So study implication of sampling. Sampling anyway is done in time domain. So study implication sampling in frequency domain. Okay, so if you do sampling in time domain, what is its implication in the frequency domain? That's what we wanted to study. To make that study, what we did, we just find out Fourier transforms. Okay, what Fourier transforms we found? These are all continuous time Fourier transforms. Okay, but finding continuous time Fourier transform for a periodic signal is not very simple. Okay, so that's why we express this periodic signal into complex exponentials. where each is a periodic signal again. See, each complex exponential is periodic, but we know how to write Fourier transform for a exponential signals, complex exponential signals. That's why we express the arbitrary periodic signal into complex exponentials. Okay, and then use it like after Fourier series expansion. Okay, since we know how to write the Fourier transforms, discrete time Fourier transform for complex exponential periodic signals, we use that fact to write the Fourier transform of the periodic signal, here impulse train. Okay, finally what we have seen is S of t when it is impulse train in time domain, when you take it to Fourier domain, it will have S of j omega, which is equal to impulse train separated by what? See, in time domain it is separated by t. In frequency domain it is separated by each of these impulses in frequency domain are separated by how much? Omega naught. Okay, so j is here also. Okay, omega naught. Fine. Or 2 pi by t. That's what we have seen. Okay, so finally, now what we want to do with this? See, you have now x of j omega. Assume that some form in it has some form. Okay, so now minus some finite bandwidth signal. Okay, that means it has in frequency domain some finite bandwidth. It is non-zero after this. Okay, this is omega. Now what we have seen is S of t has Fourier transform, which is S of j omega. And S of j omega, how is it? Okay, how much is its like? You say if this is 0, what is this? This one is 2 pi by
Omega.
Yeah, omega naught. Very good. Okay, which is equal to 2 pi by minus 2 pi by capital T. Okay, so see what is the implication of this? So you have seen that the time domain signal has a duration of say I will just write S of t here somewhere. Okay, just to have a like okay, no. See, fine. See, if this is S of t and this is S of j omega. See, if this capital T is high, okay, what will happen in frequency domain? See, you should see now, since we are trying to see the implications of both time domain and frequency domain together. So far, what we have seen is we have seen signals directly taken in time domain and then trying to find their Fourier transform, analyze frequency domain, or take frequency domain information, get the time domain information. So we are not parallelly looking at both of them. Whereas now it is time to look at both of them together. Okay. So what we can see is, okay, so this is the Fourier transform. Fine. So now if the T is large, what will happen in the frequency domain? If the duration of sampling is large in time domain, what will it happen in the frequency domain? Samples.
Samples are closely spaced.
Samples are
closely spaced.
Closely spaced. Okay. Whereas if the samples here are like distinctly placed, Okay, that means if they are separated well, then these samples will be, sorry, if these samples are, time domain samples are close, then the frequency domain samples will be well separated. So they like duration is inversely proportional. Okay, so in one domain, if you sample sparsely, okay, the information you have in the other domain is compactly represented. Okay, fine. Okay. So now, but what is the axis and duration here? This goes from where to where?
Minus infinity to infinity.
Minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so you have samples. These samples keep going. Okay, fine. Okay, so now what? See, if you want to get x s of, our aim is to get x s of j omega. So how do we get this? That means in the time domain, what did we do? In the time domain, we have actually
Multiply x of t and s of t.
Yeah, x of t and
S of t.
yeah, you have whatever. This was the signal we have taken, but it is not purely the signal. Okay, so this signal and this signal. Okay, what did we do? This is x of t. Okay, dot star s of t. The signal. Okay, so this signal and this signal we multiply. Okay, in frequency domain, what will happen now? In frequency domain, these two,
Will convolve.
yeah, we need to convolve them. This is I will now sketch this roughly equal to sinc function, because I think it's sinc square or whatever. Okay, I will put something like this just to have a so later you can see for a sinc square function in x of t, okay, you have triangle spectra. Okay, now since we are explicitly writing both time domain and frequency domain, I am just plotting a somewhat realistic example. Okay, and this is x of j omega. Okay, and this is what you have here is s of j omega. So what you need to do, dot star, sorry. So in time domain it is dot star, in frequency domain it is j omega convolution with, okay, s of j omega, and by 1 by 2 pi, just by normalizing term, for normalizing. Okay, so here we have convolution operation between this signal and this signal. Also I will write here, just I will okay, and I will write here s of t, s of j omega. Okay, fine. So that's what we are trying to do now. So what will happen if we do convolution? So in this case, it is quite closely separated. Okay, so in this is not very easy to sketch at the beginning. So we will separate them little wider. See, based on the okay, this is 0. Okay, this is 2 pi by t, 4 pi by t. Is this correct? Is this fine? What I'm writing, is this clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now what? Just for better sketch or visualization, I have drawn them separated. See, it depends upon the scale of t. Okay, so 2 pi by t may be very large, t may be very small. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now what will happen? What do we mean by convolution? If I convolve with any delta function, delta train, what will happen? Can one of you tell?
Shifted spectrum of
The signal will repeat.
The signal will repeat. Okay, say if fine, before even going to that, if I just convolve with say any triangular signal or any signal, okay, so let this be say s of j omega. Now just I convolve with some delta of, okay, omega minus some say k times omega naught. K I might not have given you. What is the answer? Just 1 k minus omega naught. K may be some 10 or something. Okay, I have not specified explicitly. But if I just convolve this and this, what will happen? S of j omega, it is convolved.
It will be shifted at omega naught, k omega naught.
Right. It will be shifted at k omega naught. Okay, that is the operation of convolution with any delta function. Okay, so if I convolve x of t with del of t minus t naught, okay, what the implication is just that x of t gets shifted to t minus t naught. So what I get will be x of t minus t naught. Similarly here, okay, what the answer I get is s of j omega minus k omega naught. Okay, hope this is clear. Just the operation of delta of convolution with delta function is just locating the signal at that, okay, at that instance of delta function. So if this is 0, for example, okay, k omega naught is here, for example, okay, just I put k omega naught. K may be whatever and omega naught may be whatever. Then the implication of this is simply this function, instead of being located at 0, okay, it get located at, it just look centered at k omega naught. Is this clear or not? Is this operation clear? This is very important. See, underlyingly, if you understand these things only, later you can easily tell what will happen if you why there is a repetition in frequency domain. Okay, if you do sampling in time domain, and even the now will the information be lost or not lost? All these things will be quite clear. Okay, so now this is just shifted version with k omega naught. Is this fine or not? Same thing. Okay, this is what is. Okay, so this is what happens. Now, as an expression, so how do we write xs of j omega? Now we want to write xs of j omega. Okay, through substitution. Xs of j omega is equal to 1 by 2 pi, okay, x of j omega convolved with, what is s of j omega? Summation delta function omega minus k omega naught, okay, k equal to minus infinity infinity. And here 2 pi by capital T is there, right? Right. So now this is equal to what? 1 by t. Can one of you tell quickly? Any other student? Harshavardhan?
Yes, sir.
X of k.
See, your answer should not be yes, sir. Xs of j omega is what? X of j omega minus k omega naught. Okay, because as you have seen here, if you are listening to earlier discussion, I think there is no, I don't see any reason why you need to think now again or spend time now again to answer this. So x of j omega is equal to, simply actually what will happen? The convolution will happen with each of the shifted functions in the summation, and then that will come. That's all. Is this clear, Harshvardhan?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay.
Sir, today most of the people have connection is not good, sir.
What is?
That's why the connection is not good, sir. Even for me and Harsha, Karthik, most of the people facing same issue today.
Okay.
Sir, am I audible,
good.
sir?
You should tell that. Okay. If yes, yeah, you are audible.
Okay, sir.
You are audible, Madan.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, right. So if the connection is not proper, you can tell that. It's not a problem. But only thing is convey it. So if being not earth is not good. Connection being poor is okay. Fine. So hope this is clear, right? So what will happen finally? So convolution of these two.
Hello. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what will happen? So if you want to sketch. So now we want to sketch xs of j omega. Okay, what is this? Summation 1 by t, summation x of j omega minus k omega naught. What does this imply? What does this imply? What does this say?
Signal is shifted.
Yeah. Signal is
Shifted. Its copies are repeated at regular intervals.
Yeah. So at each impulse train, whichever early in frequency domain, okay, at each location of the impulse, non-zero location of the impulse train, the spectrum repeats. Okay. At each non-zero location of the impulse train, the spectrum repeats. That's what is seen here. Okay. Which axis is this?
Omega axis.
Omega axis. Omega axis.
So finally, what we are writing here is xs of j omega. Okay. So now, what is its implication? See, for example, if I have now any x of s, now let us come to little bit of discussion. So x of s, initially assume that you have the spectrum for x of s is like this. Okay, we have seen that x of s minus omega n to omega n. Okay, and then this we are calling it as omega naught. Okay, for time being we are calling omega n is omega naught and omega naught. Okay, so now, okay, what? So if you want, if we consider that the initial signal x of t, okay, has a band limited spectrum. Okay, this is x of s, x of j omega. That is spectrum of x of t. Okay, its spectrum of x of t, okay, is band limited. Fourier transform of x of t is band limited. What do we mean by band limited? If you, in the frequency spectrum of x of t, you have non-zero frequencies only up to minus omega n to plus omega n maximum. Okay, assume that that is the case. Then what will happen if you sample, okay, with the in time domain with interval t, okay, for the x of t, if x of t is sampled, okay, with interval t, samples with or time period t. Okay, then the corresponding spectrum, okay, will excess of j omega will not have any loss of information or any mix of information, provided what? See, when can you see that? Say, for example, here I have nicely plotted them. See, where did I repeat them? I repeated at 0, 2 pi by capital T, and so on. After each repeat, what is this extent? What is this? This and this values? Minus omega n and omega n.
Sir, is that omega suffix w, sir? It's not clear actually. That's what I'm asking.
What is it?
The text of the frequency domain, sir. What is that values? Omega minus omega n, sir. Suffix w n, sir. That one.
Omega
N.
omega n. Right? Omega n I have written. Suffix n I have written.
Okay.
Or omega m also you can write. Okay.
Sir.
So omega m also you can write. Okay. So let this be omega m and minus omega m. Okay. So now this is again omega axis only. Here the value is 2 pi by, what is this value? See, I am writing this as, fine. So yeah, see, this is omega naught. So what is this particular value now? This particular value on the omega axis. Can one of you tell what is this?
Omega
Omega?
naught minus
Omega naught
Omega
minus.
naught minus
Omega naught minus. Omega.
minus omega.
Okay. This particular thing is omega naught plus omega.
Plus omega.
Okay. So now see, if the information should not, like for example, there will be any replica, there will be replicas at omega equal to 0, omega equal to omega naught, omega equal to 2 omega naught, okay, and so on. But if you want to have the all information intact without any overlap or the like mixing of frequency information, what you should ensure? We should ensure that, see, which is design parameter here, that means which is in our hands among all the parameters that we have in the
Omega naught, sir.
omega naught is in our hand, or more specifically, so omega
Time
naught
period.
or
Time period T.
Time period.
is
T, capital.
okay, is design parameter. Huh? Or we can fix ourselves such that the information may not be lost while in the process of sampling. Okay, that is the for doing that, how should we fix omega naught is the question. Okay, so now how should we fix the omega naught?
Must be greater than 2 omega m, sir.
This as the design parameter. We can fix omega naught or capital T such that what? Such that what
There
should be
is no
greater?
interference in the frequency spectrum.
Yeah, when will it happen? Mathematical condition we need.
Greater
Omega
than
not greater
2
than
omega.
2 omega.
Omega. No.
Or, yes, sir.
See,
Yeah.
you can't directly tell. Looking at this, you have to tell. Okay.
Omega n.
Has to be greater than
Omega
Omega
n.
m, sir.
Okay. This is what you can tell. Okay, by by looking at these regions. Okay. By looking at this, okay, you can to have no loss or mix of information. The condition what we can tell from by looking at this is omega naught minus omega m has to be greater than omega m. Okay, right? Hope this is clear for all. Right? Because see, so far we are all considering symmetric things. Same thing will happen this side also. This side it will be something like, okay, so similar thing will happen here also. This will be something like minus omega naught plus, plus omega m. Okay, so minus omega naught plus omega m has to be less than minus omega m. time, something like that it will come. So we need not write on the other side considering the symmetry. Okay, so this implies what? This implies what? This implies omega naught has to be greater than
2 omega.
2 omega n. Okay, in the worst case greater than or equal to. Okay, this is said to be the Nyquist rate. Okay. No, and this is the sampling frequency. Name usually given for omega naught here is sampling frequency. Usually represented with same omega s. Okay. Right. So Nyquist rate, what it means is, if you want to have no loss of information during the process of sampling, okay, and truly represent the frequency spectrum without mixing any of the frequency components, then you should sample at least twice the maximum frequency in the signal. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is this clear or not? Right. Okay. Now, anyway, what I will do is, I will give 1 or 2 small examples. Okay. So I suggest you to quickly tell one example we will do here, and then remaining examples you can do at and come back at your home and come back. Okay. So if, for example, if you sample at less than Nyquist rate, okay, what will happen?
Overlapping will occur.
Frequency
Loss of information.
overlap.
And yeah, so what will happen? You can't sample at all if there is a signal. Okay, can't I sample more than the Nyquist rate?
You can, sir.
Nyquist rate?
You can sample, sir.
What? Then what is the problem? What is the problem?
No problem, sir. If you sample more than sampling rate, no problem, sir.
Less than means?
There is interference in the frequency domain.
So?
Recovery of signal is not possible.
Recovering, yes, sir. Recovery.
Right.
While recovering, there is a loss of intersection
information
domain. We cannot recover. Sir.
Right. So the problem is you will not be able to recover back. See, if I have this complete spectrum with me, excess of j omega. Say tomorrow if I ask you to get back me only x of j omega, I don't want samples, I want the continuous time signal. Okay, at least roughly, I may not be able to get ideally anyway, but at least roughly if I want to get, what should I do now? Say I will give you x's of s, I want you x of j omega. X's of j omega I will give, okay, x of j omega, or x's of t I will give, I will ask you x of t. What will you do? Can one of you tell quickly?
Use low pass filter.
Tell quickly.
Using low pass filter, sir.
Using some filters,
filter?
sir.
Yeah,
not
use
only low pass. Sir, we can use band pass also, no, sir?
Okay, use band pass also fine. What band pass? What is the band is important? You tell.
Yeah, band is omega m, sir. 0 to omega.
Omega n. What is that omega m? Okay, omega m you want to put.
Sir, use a band pass. Yes, sir. Use a band pass filter which is centered around 2 pi by t.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is band pass. That is called low pass only. Because it is sampling the low frequencies. If it samples other than low frequencies, see, other than zero frequency, if I sample somewhere from here to here, for example, then we can say it is a band pass. Okay, so it also passes a band nevertheless, but I think you are passing the low frequency band. Okay, so it is better to refer to as low pass filter. Okay, so you construct a filter like this. Yeah.
Sir,
Ask.
I mean, every time we may not transfer that low frequency signal, sir. Maybe that band pass signal also we may transmit, na, sir.
Oh, you mean to say that sometimes the signal itself may be band in one band, may not be at centered, is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, in that case, band pass is okay. Also, there is a separate treatment of sampling theorem and how to sample for band pass or band signals, some like finite band signals other than zero, centered at zero. Okay, for them you can use band pass filter. So those who are symmetric, especially those signals who are real, which will have symmetric spectrum. Okay, real signals will have symmetric, right? So you, from the properties, you can see that. Okay, symmetric spectrum. For them, we use low pass filter. Okay. So low pass filter of this sort you will use, and you will only get, say, if I multiply with, say, this is in some sense, okay, this is H, reconstruction j omega. Okay, somehow I will get some filter, HR of j omega. I multiply with this in frequency domain now. Okay, and then I will get back my, okay, if I multiply with this and this, for example, into xs of j omega. Okay, what I get will be x of j omega. Is this fine or not? Okay, I can get back the signal provided if I follow the Nyquist rate for sampling. Okay, or sampling theorem, this is usually referred to as. Okay, so those for the name, this is referred to as sampling theorem. Okay, so is this fine? So we will probably stop it here. Okay, but I will give just one or two examples here. You try to apply your previous skills and current skills. Okay, and get the make some inferences. Assume that I have some x of t. Okay, which is examples here. X of t equal to cos, okay, 4000 pi t. Okay, this is x of t. Now I want to sample, find xs of t, find xs of t. Okay, and then with t equal to 1 by some okay, 6000 assume that. Okay, 1 by 6000. Find xs of t, and then tell whether aliasing has happened or not. See the mixing of, if in case if I sample less than Nyquist rate, that is sampling frequency is lesser than 2 times omega m, then what will happen? These spectrums will mix. Okay, this will mix something like this. Okay, the value of omega naught is smaller. Okay, if I don't keep this much distinct, omega naught is smaller, then what will happen? They mix. In that case, the mixing of frequencies happens mainly in the for the high frequencies. Is it not? Because see, high frequency are the ones which will first mix. Okay, so that is referred to as aliasing. High frequencies here get back mixes with low frequencies here. Okay, similarly these high frequencies mixes with low frequencies here. Okay, that is referred to as aliasing. Okay, if that happens, we will not be able to completely get back the original signal back. Okay, or even at least roughly close to the original signal we will not get. Okay, so that is referred to as aliasing. So now in this case, first you sample with this, write xs of t and say whether the aliasing has happened or not. Does, okay, omega s satisfy Nyquist criteria in sampling, and does aliasing happen? Okay, you can just try it yourself. Okay, so then subsequently what is interest for us to see is x of n, discrete signal. So far we have not come to x of n. See, x of n is nothing but what? This x, see what did we do for here? We sampled and got x of n. See this one, right? X of kt or x of nt. This itself, for example, if you want to represent as a sample signal, this one, okay. So this is what? X of xs of t. If I want to show as a discrete signal, because these are all distinct from, say for example, 0, t, 2t, okay, 3t, minus t, this is the separation. Okay, these, if I just make like keep this information of capital T somewhere else, that is sampling period, I don't want to really show everywhere. I just want to see this as a sequence of numbers. Okay, sometimes I may want to show this as a sequence of values. Okay, then what will happen? I will get some value here. This is sequence. Okay, I may show some other say second value. Then I may show even the values here. Okay, so these are the values, right? After multiplying with delta function, what I get are values. Okay, after multiplying with delta function, they are not again deltas. Okay, they are values. Okay, so now these values, assume that I have written here. Okay, then I may say that n equal to 0 here, 1 here, 2 here, minus 1 here. Here what is lost? This axis is n, whereas this axis is t. Okay, so here for each nt, okay, nt here is converted to n. I just dropped the information of capital T here while writing this sequence. Okay, so is referred to as discrete sequence.
Sir,
okay,
we have done in
so that's what is
continuous demo.
Discrete time signal. Yeah, so far all the things are continuous time. Okay. From
Yes,
continuous
then
time
there
to
is a
discrete
impulse
time, what
signal
is
only,
the
sir.
switch I am doing is I am neglecting this capital. Yeah, tell.
Sir, that x of t is a continuous signal, sir. Then it would be impulse, na, sir?
Yes. Oh, you are asking that impulse, will that impulse be there? See, after multiply, it's can consider impulse, but thing is, see, when you multiply with x of t, see, impulse height is how much? Impulse height, we say it's like, and it goes to infinity. Okay, we can't really define continuous time impulse height. Okay, but it's it is just as you can consider it as sampling function. Okay, it just
But
samples.
area we can define, na, sir?
Area you can
we show the
right.
For to show area only we represent that value, na, sir, magnitude of that x
Correct.
of t, that corresponding that del of t.
Correct. See, when you multiply with some x of t into delta of, see, x of t naught, okay, into delta of whatever, sorry, x of t, just one, right. See, x of t into, if you multiply delta of t minus t naught, okay. So what is its value? Its value is, what we write is
X of t naught.
X of t naught.
X of
Okay.
t naught.
Into delta t. Okay, but when we show this, we can show with the finite. It's now this has a particular value of height. Okay, delta t as such doesn't have any particular value of height. Okay, we consider it as a, for conventional things are simple understanding with unit, say unit impulse. So we consider it as a unit height in by default. Okay, but essentially by definition it has infinite height and very small duration, right? So
Yes,
here, yeah, when you consider x of t naught, its height is t naught. You can write it as impulses is also fine. Okay, so but now since we clearly define its height, it is better to write it as the like that height. That's all. So its height now we will not go to infinite. Okay, its height is now whatever is the say value here. Is this
Sir,
clear?
that
This
height,
value is
yes, sir. That height only represents the area of that impulse, no, sir. If you are representing
correct.
unit impulse means the area over that is 1. If you represent with some a
Correct, correct.
value, then it means area.
Correct. Yeah, correct, correct. Along height, it represents the area. Correct. You're correct. Right. Yeah, it's fine. It is okay to put that, but for representation, I think either is fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So essentially, the thing is here when we convert into discrete time signal x of n. So this is what finally is converted is x of n. Okay. So this x of n is now only like we explicitly leave the information of capital T. Okay. And that is not explicitly seen here. Only x of n in terms of index n as a sequence is seen here. Okay. So I suggest you just try to do this small problem yourself and come back. We will discuss in the next class further. Okay. So what I suggest is anyway go through these things. Okay, and respond well or quickly in the class so that we have a class more lively. Okay. So any further
sir,
questions now?
No, sir.
Yeah, fine.
No question.
Right. Okay. So no, you have exam on Monday, right? So on Tuesday. So get ready for it. Oh, right. Okay. Fine then. Bye. Bye to all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, ask.
Yeah, quiz only, sir.
Quiz, yes, yes.
Don't get
We'll have quiz.
Yes, sir.
Or should we have quiz or shall we have shall we have the written exam?
Quiz is good, sir.
Yeah, quiz is good. Okay, let us have quiz so that you can have final written exam on mid exam during mid exam itself. Okay, fine then. Bye.